Hello, I'm Tylah Tully, and today I'm joined by American Uranium Executive Director and CEO Bruce Lane. Bruce, American Uranium has mobilised a drill rig to its Lo Herma uranium project in Wyoming. Tell us about the aim of this program.
Yes, Tyler, we've got a drill rig on site, and we hope to be drilling, within the next 24, 36 hours. The first stage of our drilling campaign, we've got 37,500 metres permitted, which overall will be around 120 drill holes. The first part of that, being 50 drill holes, is targeted at growing our resource. So we've got an existing 8.57 million pound resource, 32% of that is indicated. We put out a scoping study earlier this year. So what we're trying to do is increase the size of the deposit, the overall resource footprint, and then phase two is to do some infill drilling to increase the confidence levels. So this first part of the program, which we think will run through until around Christmas, is this 50-hole campaign targeted at growing the overall resource footprint. And we look to put out a scoping study after an interim resource update after this first phase.
And when it comes to growing the resource at Lo Herma, what's the benchmark size that you're looking for before updating your scoping study?
Yeah, as I said, 8.57 million pounds is actually a pretty significant ISR uranium resource. And, I can point to Shirley Basin, a project owned by UR Energy, which is under construction now. And I was in Casper a couple of months ago and took a drive down there to have a look at how they're doing with that. So they're actually constructing that project now. It's 8.8 million pounds. So, we're in that size that is attractive economically, but what we're trying to do is push up beyond 10 million pounds. Now, we think 10 million pounds is a good round number. Maybe we get north of that, maybe we just south of that, but either way, we're looking to maintain or grow a resource that we can then follow on with infill drilling and then bring it up so that we can update our scoping study in the first part of next year.
And what can you tell us about the timing and inputs to your planned updated scoping study?
So obviously the work we're doing at the moment with this exploration drill phase is a key input. We're also doing some hydrogeological studies, and we'll run those concurrently with the current drilling program. We'll have more to say about that in the next week or two. There'll be the infill drilling, which would be then in the first part of next year. We'll do some more metallurgical work. We've already done leach tests, and we've gotten really good results from those using an alkaline leach, which is the same lixiviant that was used by Cameco, which is 10 miles to our east. So that's the largest. Smith Highland Ranch is the largest ISR project in America. But we'll do further work just to increase the confidence levels around, that metallurgical work. So once we've done all that work, then we'll do a resource update off the back of the exploration work, and then we'll do a further resource update once we've done the infill drilling. And that puts us in a really good spot to update the scoping study. So there's a lot of work to go into it over the next 6 months. And so what it does do is provides us with a really good continuous news flow during that period and something to look forward to as the uranium price continues to increase.
And finally, what else can investors expect from American Uranium in the coming months?
Yeah, look, the key thing's going to be a start to drilling, and then, we'll have drilling results. There'll be the hydrogeological work, which will get commenced sometime in the next few weeks, and we'll have some results around that. And then this interim resource update will likely be in the early part of next year. So that's the short-term things to look forward to. The other thing I think people can look out for is the USGS is due to make some changes to the US critical minerals list. And there's been a lot of lobbying to get uranium onto that critical minerals list. It's already considered a critical mineral by the Department of Energy and the Trump administration, but formally getting it on the critical minerals list can open up a whole lot of new support from the government, from loan programs, etc. So that's one big thing that I think the decision will be made early next week. If uranium doesn't get on the list, it's not the end of the world. There's still an amazing kind of news flow around the positive developments around uranium. I think if people have been watching, NextGen just raised around $1 billion in equity funding over the last 24 hours. There's been continuous capital raisings in the producer and developer space. So we're seeing really, really solid support. And we're seeing an improving uranium price. It's still a little volatile around spot because we know it's highly manipulated and thinly traded. But we're certainly seeing it head in the right direction. And I think Grant Isaacs was clear last week when he spoke at the TD Cowen Securities Conference, the Cameco COO, that they are looking at prices that are more in that $100 range, and that new production is going to need that kind of incentive. And so we can see the price moving towards that. So I think there's a lot to look forward to. And we'll have news flow coming over the next weeks and months.
Bruce, thank you so much for your time today.
Great. Thanks, Tyler.
For more ASX news and analysis, subscribe below.